Start recording. All right, so that's going now, folks. You can watch this on the video. All right, so you want me to go to the tweeter?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm
I
there.
hope it's all being recorded right now.
Yeah, we're recording. I think we're
'Cause I
recording.
feel like I'm getting all kinds of static from your end.
Ain't no static, Anna. Ain't no static.
He
All right,
ain't
hang
heavy.
on.
He's my brother.
Yeah, you're gonna make me play that, and then Bill's gonna have to cut it out. He's gonna have 3 strokes. All right, let's see.
That's true.
Ask questions to Vinnie and me for the Monday show. Lay them out here in NSNG and Vocino.com.
Hey,
All right, so I hit the like, right? And then I'm all right, I'm
Right.
folks,
and then you're going to retweet.
I'm not going to just retweet. I'm going to go. I'm going to do a thing. Watch.
Do a quote tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, me and Anna, we're taking questions.
Do you know who's back in the Twitter
Period.
sphere who's been missing forever is Lee Bass. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. And he's
Lee
doing
Bass
well.
is back. He was one of the OGs, man.
Yeah. He mentioned as much.
He might have been listener number 15
Or 20.
or
We don't
20.
know.
So he's back when we were just 2-digit listeners.
All right, let me do add Anna here. You see, I'm still working. People wonder
No,
why.
you're doing a really good job. I'm really, really proud of you.
Hang on. Anna. You see, no, it ain't working. Anna, it's saying nobody exists by that. Okay, you see, I tweet your name. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. And now
I just want to give Lee Bass a shout out because his food pictures are looking awesome.
yeah,
See, we pay attention to the Twitter.
I saw the
Only
word,
if you only if you say nice things. If you say mean things, you get blocked.
but you know what? The Lee Bass, I'm glad he's finally on board with everything.
Yeah.
Right. But it took him a long time. The guy was around 9-10 years ago. And it took him all that time to finally go, you know what? Maybe I should give this a real shot. And all he's doing is, oh my God, it really works. It's kind of like AA. It will work if you work the program.
Right.
Same thing. No different. We're just like AA, folks. Vinnie and Anna, just like AA.
We're VA, Vinnie and Anna.
And in case you're keeping
It's a different 12-step though.
No, it is. Can I talk about me now? Since
Yeah.
I played the song and everything before.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I would like you to talk about you. And then we're going to take Twitter questions.
Did
and
I mention killing a snake last week?
Oh yeah.
Copperhead.
Shooting the copperhead, sticking out of the cement crack. You did.
Yeah.
And I've now told that story offline to any person who would listen.
Okay. Guess
That's
what?
how into that story I am.
We're now at Copperhead number 2.
You killed him?
Oh yeah. Well, I was walking Bonzo down the street because I'm scared to let Bonzo just go down around the backyard because he's going to just find more copperhead. So I said, let me take him for a walk. It was later in the afternoon, about 6 o'clock. And the neighbor's grass, I'm walking by their house. The grass is pretty short, but Bonzo, dogs, they got to sniff the grass. That's how they get excited about taking a poop. And he's sniffing the grass and he sniffs right up onto another copperhead in the grass. Nice size. You can't really see it, even though the grass is pretty short. So I immediately went to my neighbor's house, the neighbor that I know. And they were eating dinner. I said, hey, Todd, I need a shovel. And you need to hold my dog. So Todd came out there with me. And of course, his kids all jumped up from the dinner table. They had to, how kids are, oh my God, there's another snake. We got to see the snake. So we went out there and Todd put a shovel through his head. Well, Todd put the shovel in his head and he was about to lift it. I said, no, Todd, you lift that thing up. That snake is out of here. So I took the shovel handle from him and I just got my foot on it and went about a half a foot into the ground with that shovel until I saw the head on one side.
Yeah.
We're not just capturing the snake, Todd. We're getting rid of it. That's what we're doing.
My dad one time, he's outside of Montgomery, Alabama. Why won't my camera focus? Thanks. Glad I spent all this money. There it is. Glad I spent all this money on this nice camera, guys.
Yeah.
He's outside of Montgomery, very much in the country, and was driving home in his little Cadillac and saw a water moccasin out on the street. Boy, he swerved and he hit that thing and then he slammed on the brakes and he put it in reverse and he ran over it again and then he put it in drive and ran over it again. I was like, okay,
You can't hit a copperhead too many. A water snake too many times. Those things will live 9 lives, just like a cat.
So I was like, you got it. I think
Yeah,
you
no,
got it.
those things. Look, a copperhead, you got time to make it to the doctor, right?
Water
And
moccasin, that's
you get a
it.
water moccasin, you got about 20
Cottonmouth, they
minutes.
call them down there.
Yeah, they call them cottonmouths because when they open their mouth, it's white and it looks cottony in there. They're
Ugh.
vicious. I could tell you copperheads, no, water moccasin stories from now through eternity. You spend any time in Louisiana. Anna,
Yeah.
I don't look like I've put on any muscle to you.
Your shoulders, you look strong. You look like you could kill a snake.
Yeah, I look snake killing strong, right?
Yeah, you do. You do.
Well,
Have you been doing muscle gains?
well, here's the thing. When
Is
I
that
was
what they call it? Gains?
when I was climbing with Cotty Cod, the billionaire down at Coddington, when we went to Whitney.
So rich.
I showed up. We had the same room, and we came back. We were sweating. I took a shirt off, and he was like, "Damn, dude!" I'm like, "What?" I thought maybe I had some like ticks on my back or something. And he goes,
The ticks in your back hair.
"Yeah, because they can." He goes, "Dude, you're ripped, man. What's doing?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I started lifting more weights again because you see, usually when Coddington sees me, he calls it my Chris Froome look because I'm an aerobic beast. As much as I played football in college. Did you see that video that went around on my Twitter of me in college?
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I was playing college ball, I weighed 225, 230, all muscled up. My
Right.
neck was 22 inches big. 20, I was that guy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could put on good muscle, but I'm always on the rowing machine or the bike or the spinner or running up and down mountains. And Don, the Cotty Kai calls it my Chris Froome look. He goes, "You look like Chris Froome. You're all emaciated." And that's the way you've known me most of.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I decided, I got, as you can see, the rack is behind me, my weightlifting rack. I have it here. So every day I spend just a little time. And this is the point I want to make. I'm not spending hours upon hours doing weightlifting. I'm spending between, I don't want to exaggerate. I could say 30 minutes, but that's just a fucking lie. 45 minutes a day. And I'm doing a simple push, pull, leg routine. So one day I'll do, and leg day is even, might even be a little shorter. So 35 to 45 minutes, push one day, a little pull the next day, and then legs. And then I might take a day off and start it again, or I might do it 2 times in a row and then take a day off. So that's the way I do it. And of course, I keep up my aerobics because you never know when I'm going to want to go do some event somewhere. And I like to keep a good aerobic base.
Right.
But even with that, right? And I haven't really probably increased my protein a little bit. I'm probably eating a little more red meat, a few more eggs, right? I notice my eggs are going quicker. So I'm getting more protein in to match the work I'm doing and this sort of deal. Am I making any sense, Anna?
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, I'm still doing my aerobics. I'm still hitting my rowing machine. I'm still doing everything, but I've just added the weights to it. Oddly enough, my waist has probably come in another ½ an inch. And I know this because of the belts I wear. I put them on the same loop and the belts are loose.
Wow.
Which is odd because, as you know, I don't have a lot to lose in the way. I don't have anything to lose in the way. So, it's that kind of deal. And I haven't really noticed it. Like Coddington made one mention of it. Serena probably said something at one point or another, but when you're in a relationship, couples say nice things to each other
right.
Like she probably wanted me to take the garbage out or something. I don't know. And, oh boy, you're looking hot. Why don't you take those hot ass biceps and go out there and move some garbage around?
Yeah.
When you're done killing copperheads, why don't you go take care of that? And but Gina Grad, our friend Gina, she's getting married the day before this show comes out. This show comes out
right.
Monday. She's getting married on Sunday.
Congratulations.
Yeah. By the way, wait.
She will be Mrs. Gina Grad.
Hang on. This show comes out on what day?
Monday. Isn't she getting married on a Saturday?
No, on a Sunday.
On a Sunday. Okay.
She's Jewish. They could do that.
Oh. My friend John Dunn, who's been on this show, just got married on a Monday. So you can do whatever you want, you guys.
I'm looking something up. Hang on. Folks, I'm producing on the fly.
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm super into it.
Yeah, no, you got to be into it because I'm producing on the fly here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah. Sorry, Bill, we're going to be playing this in a minute and you're just going to have to pull it out of the video. So hang on. All right. So I got this queued up.
Okay.
Stop. I need that stop. There we go. Okay.
Here we go. This is going to be worth it.
Yeah, we're not playing it yet. We're not going to do it yet. Okay. Anyway, Gina's wedding. I don't wear a suit very often anymore. And when I wear a sport coat, usually it's like a tweed jacket. I dress like a British countryman now because that's what Serena buys me. So I have these nice tweed jackets that I'll wear in the winter months if we go to dinner. And, with that, I'll have a shirt, an unbuttoned, like the shirt will be just buttoned to the top button, no tie. But I have to go to Gina's wedding and I have a closet full of very well-tailored suits. So I want to be respectful. I want to wear a suit to the woman's wedding.
Right.
I started trying them on and most of them are fitting a little. It's like I can fit them, but boy, when you sit down and try to reach forward, I got too much lats now for them.
Right.
Right. And I noticed like when I bent the arms, the biceps, and look, Anna, I'm going to hold it up for anyone watching this. I don't have very big biceps. I mean, they're not huge. So I'm sure in the thing, these are not.
Are you talking about your coat or your shirt?
First I tried on the coat with a t-shirt on. This was like right before the show. So I went through one coat.
I have an easy fix for you. I'm waiting for you to get to the end of the story.
Oh, Anna, I will take any fix. So I went through another coat. I finally found a suit. I went, oh, that's the one that's always a little baggy on me. So I found a coat to fit. And then I was sweating, when you start going into a flop sweat.
Yeah.
I tried the pants on and the pants will work as long as I don't get on the floor and do the alligator or something when we start.
As long as you don't show them your dance moves, do the worm.
Yeah. If I bust too much of a move, like if I do the worm,
you could.
Yeah, I could, but I'm going to split these pants.
I want to see that. I want somebody to be taking.
And by the way, these pants, I even have to do the thing where I put them on and they fit. Then I have to do the sit down where you sit down because my quads will expand a lot because I don't have any fat. So when anything expands, just muscle moving up and down. So
can I tell you what to do? And you should have done this a week ago.
Well, yeah,
there's still time. When you leave in 2 days,
Anna, I'm leaving. We're recording this on Monday.
You need to tell Serena to find a tailor immediately.
I'm leaving tomorrow, Anna. Okay, go on.
What time?
Tomorrow's Serena's birthday, so I'm doing that, and then I'm getting on the plane.
Okay, well, this is what you should have done.
All right, tell me what I should have done for next time.
Take this from somebody who's married to somebody who's just like you, who does not wear suits. So when it's time to wear a suit, we have to go get a new suit every time.
That's almost my problem. I'm either too big or too small.
You go to a place like H&M, you get a suit for $150 to $200. You immediately go to the tailor and have them custom fit it to you. Boom, perfect suit. And you maybe have spent $250. I know that seems like a lot, but you have that ready to go for the next 10 years of suit things. And then you go again and you do it again the next time you need.
You see, I could be the thing.
But if you had done that last week, you would have had lead time.
So it's called, what's it called? I'm going to write it down.
Like H&M or,
that's like a clothing. You go there to buy clothes.
I was going to suggest Banana Republic, but Banana Republic's actually really expensive, and their stuff is a little less. H&M I suggest because it's a little more. They have more European cuts of clothes, so it looks more flattering. Right. Whereas Banana Republic is more American. It's more. You would have to have the tailor take it in even more. Like it would be too bulky. whereas H&M has you know what I'm talking about. The European cut looks better on men
Right.
with built like
But
you.
you know what part of my problem is that you know the life I used to be in Hollywood. I was invited
Mhm.
to these very expensive parties and this whole thing with my clients, and
Yeah, but in Hollywood, you don't have to wear a suit to those parties.
right. But sometimes
Did
I
you still
would.
anyway?
Well, sometimes you go open collar, you go somewhere and the whole thing.
Right.
I'm just respectful that way. And
If you wear a suit jacket, it means you're an agent in Hollywood or
I
a
know, but
lawyer.
I was always very respectful, and these suits are not cheap, man. When I look at the name brands on them, I'm like sitting
Oh
there
no, no, no.
going,
Don't do that. Because
no,
if you
I can't.
if it was
I don't.
part of your job and you had to do
Yeah,
that,
I
I would
have to do it, but
understand.
I'm
But
looking at this stuff going, I wonder if they can
no,
fix this stuff.
I'm
But
I'm
yeah,
telling you, H&M makes great cut, cheap suits, but you take it to the tailor immediately, have the tailor fit it to you, and it looks like you spent
like a big dollar.
$2,000 on a
Yeah,
suit.
good.
But you do have
Because
to get a nice shirt to go under it.
that's
And
what
it
these
takes
suits
time.
cost. I know for a fact
Oh,
that
I
they're
know.
2,500. Yeah, I know people are going.
And
What are
by
you
the
talking
way,
about?
a wardrobe stylist in Hollywood taught me that trick about 20 years ago for men.
I will use I wrote it down. This will go into my permanent book,
Mhm.
H&M. I need
H&M.
to find them where I live and buy these suits, because the other problem is I started putting shirts on because, I have that problem in my neck,
Right.
and the only way I can keep my neck supple is I do these little neck exercises, and I've put on some size in my neck. Usually I have the little cyclist pencil neck, and folks, I'm not. I just showed Anna my biceps.
Like,
I'm not huge. I'm not huge by any, but I don't fit my clothes. I couldn't get one shirt like Anna. Let me show you. Let me move this mic away. The shirts, I couldn't get them that close. I couldn't get.
right.
I found one that I could get the button, and I'm hoping Serena tells me that one goes with the suit that fits.
Basically, weddings and funerals are the only times that we find
And
because now,
I hate to
I
sound.
mean,
I hate to sound morbid, but I went. What if someone died? What would I do? That's why I'm going to be honest. That's why I wrote down H&M, because if someone dies, I could go to this H&M.
yeah. Or you could do it with J. Crew and it'll be a little more expensive. They might do the tailoring in house.
Yeah.
The only reason I always suggest H&M is because they're European tailored clothes. They're cheaply made. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to be like if you had to go to an office job every day, I would say definitely don't do
Right.
that. But yeah,
Now the reason
tailors can make things look really great.
the reason I wanted to bring this up, the
Yes.
fact that I've put on lean muscle mass, not 1 ounce of fat, and I've done that fairly quickly and easily over the past 6 or 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Just spending a little time in my gym every day, basically working on a body part. When you do push, you're working on chest and shoulders. I've been chronicling some of this with my Thursday tips over at purecoffeeclub.com. I'm sorry, purevitaminclub.com.
I was going to say
on
Pure Vitamin
Instagram.
Club. Yes.
And I chronicle those. And some people, I think Megan Hawks put them all together, and she's creating a whole workout based on the ones I do.
Yeah.
A lot of people are doing
she and
that.
Susie DeMeester are doing that.
Yeah, and I'm talking to
Mhm.
them on the side and helping them out because
Good.
they help us so much. And it's the reason I want to bring this up is I'm turning 59 years old, and because
Next
of
week.
that, hang on, we're going to get to that. I'm turning 59 years old, and
Mhm.
what's going to happen is people are saying to me, we did a thing on sarcopenia. Some woman wrote in a while back and said, hey, I'm 50 and sarcopenia. And we did a whole thing on a podcast about it. People think that, oh, sarcopenia is like something I can't do anything about. Sarcopenia is basically, we lose about 1 pound of muscle per year after our 35th birthday, or 33rd birthday, somewhere around that level. By the time you hit 80, if you do the math, you've lost half of your muscle mass. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can keep it up as you go. Even for a guy like me who used to have a lot of muscle mass. I'm a guy that used to bench press 400 some odd pounds, right?
Right.
Now I couldn't bench press 190 pounds if my life depended on it, but I'm not trying to. When I do my bench press, I don't throw on heavy weights. I'm doing very, very slow, controlled, almost to failure. And I say almost to failure because I don't have anyone I'm working out with. I have to get it back in that rack one more time, right? So I can't go to complete failure, but it doesn't matter. And I'll do a warm-up set and just 2 more quick sets. And I'm saying quick sets, but quick succession. And Anna, they're coming down. You see what I'm doing here, very, very, very slowly. I'm
Count to
controlling
like
the
6
weight.
or 7.
Oh, just very slowly, even slower than I recommend for people to do. I'm doing what we used to call in the 90s super slow, and then push it out and control it all the way up. That way I'm not wearing up my joints. I'm taxing the crap out of my muscles. It works like a charm. I'm putting on muscles at 59 years old.
That's
And
awesome.
so if I can do it, anyone can, right?
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Wait. So I'm on the Pilates reformer, and
Yeah.
the Pilates reformer is based on weights and pulleys.
A real performer or
Real reformer, yes.
reformer? Okay, yes, I know the
I
system.
sprung for one, and I have it in the barn. And so I put on a lot of resistance, and I stand with 1 foot on the moving part of the carriage and 1 foot on the stable end, right? And I squat down to like sit my butt, and I'm just taking this foot like to slide it out, right? To the right. And so I feel it in the butt, but also in the side of the thigh. Would that be considered a butt? And then I also feel it in the inner thigh of the stationary leg.
Right. Basically, your stationary leg is stabilizing everything on its side. So you're feeling something different on that side.
Right.
Obviously, in a few different places. And the one you're working, you're obviously getting some of your tensor fasciae latae, your IT bands and all that into it, which is fine.
Do you prefer not to do any sort of sliding thing like that and just do?
For you, it's okay because you grew up, you have different hips than most because you were an athlete when you were young.
Yeah.
Folks, Anna was very well-trained ballerina when she was a kid. You don't just pick this up at Anna's age. What are you, 45, 48? What do you know?
48.
48.
Thank you for saying 45 first.
Yeah, I always think of you as being
38.
15 years younger than me.
Right. I'm not. I'm just 10 years younger than you.
Yeah. Well, so the whole idea is you are trained. That's why sometimes people will say to me, why do you do things you don't recommend to other people? It's like, because I've been doing this since I was 7. You don't just break into something at a certain age. If you know how to do it, if you can control it, if you can do it, that's fine. Right. That's why personal training, back when I took it, I said, look, the term personal is the most important part of personal training. Bottom line. Right. No ifs, ands, or buts. Speaking of ifs, ands, or buts, Belcampo.
Yeah, no pork butts, sirloin butts.
Yeah, look, they go nose to butt over at Belcampo. I interviewed her. I don't know if we put the show up yet. Anya Fernald again recently. I'm always fascinated with this woman, and I'm telling you, man, what they're doing at Belcampo is second to none. Anna, I don't get to see the names because they don't release. I see the list of people that buy every day from Belcampo. A lot of people are doing the thing where they go right to about $120 because all of it, I see, 102, 104, 106.
Yeah, they're doing the trick.
They're doing a trick. They want to get the free shipping and they want to get the 15% discount. And the way you do that is by, after your discount of 15% by putting in promo code Vinnie, you need to be over $100 and you also get free shipping. That means a lot. You could do what Marie did. They have hurricanes popping through there all the time. She doesn't know when her meat supply is going to stop. And since Marie has that swanky new Generac, her freezer is never going to go out because she's got a generator.
It's great.
And she said, thank the Lord. I said, no. You need to thank your son for that, your favorite son, because that's how you got that Generac. Anyway.
Your favorite son.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. We know how it works.
Marie went out. Her first order of Belcampo was $300. And she was like, oh, me and your daddy got enough meat for a long time.
For a long time, Vinnie.
And then she called me the other day. She goes, we made another order because now she just goes to the Belcampo site and starts perusing and she sees stuff.
And she adds all this stuff to her cart.
Yeah, but she's got a big freezer to put it all in. So she's got it covered. Is she?
I got to say, their brisket is one of the best briskets I've ever had. And I did their standing rib roast at Christmas. It was so good. I'm going to do that again this year.
Belcampo, folks, you want to check it out. Promo code Vinnie, Vinnie, 15% off, not just the first time, but every single time. Belcampo. Also, promo code Vinnie, go past $120 there when you get the 15% off. You will also get the free shipping because you'll be over $100 total. So go check it out. Don't forget promo code Vinnie. Anna,
yeah.
So before we move on
To the tweeter.
to the Twitter sphere and my special thing that I'm going to do here in a minute. Serena has a birthday coming up tomorrow on the 21st.
And it's a big one, right? Milestone.
The Bond girl is hitting 60.
She's a hot Bond girl.
Yeah, she is. All Bond girls have a weird distinction and only nerds figure this stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Serena was the oldest Bond girl to become a Bond girl when she became a Bond girl. Older than all of the other Bond girls. That's her distinction. So she was like in her mid to late 30s when she was a Bond girl.
I thought you were going to say like mid to late 40s. I was like, surely.
No.
No. We make sure that they are.
She might have been close to. I don't know how old she was. You could probably look that up because that's look upable. Anyway, Serena's turning 60, and we're not celebrating until I come back from LA. Because
what are you guys going to do for her birthday? You better get her a nice present.
We're going to go out and have a really nice, one of her favorite.
What's your love language, Vinnie?
What do you mean? I don't know what that means.
The love languages. It's remember that book was in the 80s?
Okay.
About love language. You were in love in the 80s. You should know about love languages. I can't remember who wrote it. It's like acts of service, words of affirmation.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hold on. Now I have to look it up.
I know that kind of bullshit used to exist, but all right, while you're looking it up, let me continue on with the Serena.
Hold on. No, I want to know the 5 love languages. We want to know what Vinnie's love language is, because then we can all express our love to you. Crap. Why won't they just say what they are? What are the 5 love languages? Words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, or physical touch?
Oh, wait, those are
the 5 love languages. And once you know what your partner likes, you can do that. And then once your partner knows what you like, they can do that. Like, for example, words of affirmation is what I like. And Lauren is not a words of affirmation guy. So he's not going to be that guy who like leaves me a note or says the things. He's an acts of service guy. He likes to get things done, and he feels like that's showing his love. Does that make sense? For years we would fight because I would say, I want to hear from you that you love me. And he's like, I do love you. Why do I have to say it all the time? I show you by, doing all this shit around the house and taking care of your cars and shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So wait. All right.
So it's like, it's how, and so people have their different ways they want to be loved. I like giving gifts, but I don't want to receive gifts.
Oh my God. I have that same.
I love getting people gifts
problem.
And I don't want to receive any gifts.
What's the name? All right. So I got to tell you this. Jackie Jones sends a package to the house.
Is the most amazing gift giver.
Right.
I would say gift giving is her love language. She loves to give gifts.
She loves to get them. I hate receiving a gift.
I actually like receiving hers because it's usually food.
Yeah,
So
it is. She sent that picante, and she also sent something. I went, oh my God, what is she doing? And so I opened it, and on top, she gave me. I wish I had it here, sitting upstairs. She gave me and Serena each a 50th anniversary of the big pen that had like red, blue.
Yes,
black. It's 4 colors.
Yeah. Was it a Bic? What was that? I remember that was really popular.
Yeah. I remember when that came out, I was like, oh
That
my
was a
God.
big 80s pen. That was
Kids
hot in
that
the 80s.
had that pen, I would say, just let me borrow it, bro. Just let me use it for a second.
I always associated whoever had that pen was rich.
Yeah, because I couldn't
Because my mom would never buy me a pen with 4 different color inks in it. Like, that's nuts.
I would get the big pens that they're like plastic and you can see how much is left.
Yeah, and it would just break in your backpack or your pocket. Yeah.
Well, no, the other side was like a little blue thing. It was also like a pocket clip on it and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you would always chew off the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you get like a pack of 4 for like 29 cents. Those are the pens Marie would buy us.
Yeah, for sure.
There was no getting the multicolored pen, but she sent me and Serena once the 50th anniversary in the original kind of packaging.
Oh, that is so nice. See, I'm telling you, she's the most thoughtful gift giver.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going, ugh. She gave me a gift. I said, Serena, please write back to her right now and tell her how much we'll, because once someone gives me a gift, I don't know.
You get stressed.
Emotion.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
So I love giving gifts.
I love giving gifts. The feeling I feel is I can't believe somebody went to that trouble for me. And that upsets me. I don't like people going to any trouble.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling. So
I have the feeling that I should be going through all the trouble. You know what I mean? That's just how I operate.
Go through the love language.
Okay. See, I knew you would like the love languages. We're going to figure this out.
All right. So let's do this.
Words of affirmation, which, saying supportive things or writing a note or things like that.
Like
right?
me saying that to me or someone else saying that to me?
Well, see, that's the thing. You have your own way that you want to be loved. And then your partner will have their own way that they want to be loved.
I know. Right? Serena likes affirmation. I mean, she likes
women like.
Yeah. She likes that.
We like to hear it.
Sometimes she's got to.
You look pretty and always skinny. Just tell me I'm pretty and skinny. And by the way, you'll get anything you want.
This morning she said, "Do I look fat in this dress?" And I was like, "Number one, you couldn't be fat if your life depended on it. Number two, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Right. Look at you. You look perfect.
Those are great words of affirmation. What the fuck is wrong with you is a wonderful, affirming statement of love. Okay.
Good. All right. So that's not
that's number one, words of affirmation. Number 2, acts of service, doing helpful things for your partner. So like I was saying earlier, like Lauren's acts of service are to be the man around the house and take care of the things, right? Which he does. And also too, it's a way of him doing things and not having to engage. Which is okay. I get that.
Lauren and I are the same. Yeah. And I didn't realize this, but Serena goes around like, I've killed 2 snakes now. She's like, she's telling everyone about it. She's like, oh my God, he's such a hero. He's killing. It's like, I grew up doing this. It's a shotgun. I press one button and they're gone.
I told you, I've told that's the first story to everyone who would listen. And I'm now going to tell your second story to everyone who would listen.
Yeah, me and Todd, my next door neighbor, killed the
second snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lauren watched a YouTube video on how to seal a crack in a windshield on the Tesla and figured it out. And I was like, I will tell everybody that because that's not something that I want to do. I don't want to do acts of service. I don't give a shit. So you're
Lauren and I are
kill the snakes.
Same guy. Yeah. I'd rather. I'm a can-do guy. I like to do right.
Yeah.
All right. So
there's words of affirmation.
I didn't realize that Serena liked telling that, but apparently she does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Receiving gifts.
All right. Well,
some people are gift oriented. We've covered that. Quality time, which to be honest with you, for Lauren and me, we're at home all the time together. So that's not an issue. In fact, our quality time is when we don't spend time together.
Yeah. That's me and Serena. I find reasons to go do stuff.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. You can't spend all your time together.
Yeah.
And then physical touch.
I like physical touch.
Yes. Men usually like physical touch. Women do too, but men are like that. They can express their love sexually, physical touch, hugging, massage, all that stuff.
Like if Serena is naked or doesn't have a shirt on, I'll walk up and just press one of her nipples. And she'll say,
like a doorbell.
Like a door. She goes, it's not.
Yeah,
we do. Right? Yeah, but it's kind of fun. It's right there. It's just looking at me. So
I remember there was a time phase where Lucy was little enough but still like obsessed with grabbing my boobs.
Yeah.
And then Lauren would also grab my boobs. And I was like, okay, we need to have just a period of time where nobody's touching my body. I don't want anybody touching my body.
No boob touching.
Just I want to just be autonomous for a minute.
Did you have to set them both down and say, listen, guys?
I think I was in the grocery store at one point when I realized You know, when you put
Did-
when you put the kid in the cart, you know, in the grocery
Yeah.
store, and you're pushing the thing around, and she's in the little trolley, and she's like, mommy, like grabbing my boobs.
You probably wanted some milk.
And
in
then
it.
Lauren came from around the corner and grabbed and had some like milk in his hands, like milk, like made a joke, and also grabbed my boobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know it's hilarious, you guys.
It is kind of
Right
funny.
now, if no
Yeah.
one ever touched me again, that'd be awesome. But yes, physical
No,
touch.
I get that. I like the physical touch,
Yeah.
even if it's for a second. It doesn't have to be. And let me take it a step further. I don't like the holding of the hands too long or this kind of thing.
No, that's
And always touching. No. I just like the brushing by and a quick peck. And
how long? I mean, you can't hold hands for longer than a couple seconds. It's weird, right? Especially when you've been together a long time. Like we'll walk down the street and he'll put his hand out and I'll grab his hand and then we'll take a few steps and it's like, all right, we did it. That's cool.
Isn't
Like,
it
but
funny?
he
Isn't
needs
it
it.
funny?
He
Like, you
needs it.
know, like you don't have to look and see, but you just know when to do it. It's like it's right there. It's kind of
Yeah.
like when Brady, you know, when the ball's thrown a little too low, he doesn't have to look down. I mean, when it's hiked a little too low when he's in the shotgun,
Yeah.
he doesn't have to look down. He's still looking up and he just reaches down and get the hand holding is like that. You know, you become like
It's
Drew
instinctual.
Brees with the hand. You know,
But
you
then it's
just
almost
know.
like and then all right, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. You know when to
Passing
start, you
through.
know when to stop.
Yep, I'm here. I'm still here. Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah, ships in the night. We're good.
Moving on.
Yeah, and
Twitter?
you know, so what's
Wait, we're
that
to
called?
finish the thing.
Is that called the look of love?
The
or-
5 love languages. I can't remember who friggin' wrote it. Gary Chapman.
All right, so, sorry, Bill, but it reminds me of this. Really?
Yeah, they came to our show, which is great to see them. Shout out to Lona and Tom. Leona and Tom.
You know,
I called her Lois last week. She texted me like, Lois, OMG. By the way, I was on an Instagram live, which I do every Tuesday at 2:30, you guys, making recipes. And Latisse Wing was on, who we've had
I
on the
love
show.
her.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
she's
she's
been
great.
on the
I
show.
kept I was like in Vinnie mode. I kept calling her Patrice for like
Well,
10
it's not as even when I read her name on Instagram, I call her Patrice.
Well, I apologized to her on direct message. I was like, you can just call me Vinny now because I was like, wait, what's her name? Latisse?
Have you
Like, I
seen
knew
her-
that. What did I say?
Anna, have you seen her husband? He's jacked.
Yeah.
He will
hot.
come over and break you like a fucking cheap pencil.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you
sorry.
take some of that, right?
I'll take it.
I think they've been married for like 1,000 years or
They
something.
have. They're so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
All right. So anyway, Serena's birthday yesterday. So
Yeah.
the neighborhood kids love Serena.
yeah.
She's become like the queen of the neighborhood. And all the, you know, there's 4 brothers that live right next door. And then there's another family right down the street over here that we're getting to know. He's Italian, she's Asian. They have a Eurasian child, beautiful. And then there's another family. They got 3 kids. All of these kids are so damn like Buttons have never been this cute. And they, as a matter of fact, that mom, she went to Tulane, you know, long after me because all of these couples are like 40 or younger.
Right.
Like I think 40 is
40. They're millennials.
yeah. None of them are like they're like 37, 38. I'm saying 40. I think the only one is the Italian guy is a professor. He seems a little older.
Yeah.
But he might even be. He's actually he reminds me of Lauren. He's from Pittsburgh or somewhere like that.
Oh.
And he went to an Ivy League school. Now he's a professor in town here and the whole thing.
So just the Pittsburgh thing with Lauren,
Yeah, but you know,
not
when
the
you
Ivy
talk
League or the professor.
Italian.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Pittsburgh-
Italian from Pittsburgh. Well, by the way,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Italians from Pittsburgh.
Of course. So the kids found out Serena's birthday is coming up, the 4 next door. And they call her Serena. Well, the younger ones call her Serena.
Mm-hmm.
They say, Serena, we're going to make you a birthday cake. So Serena goes, you know, the kids are coming over today and they're bringing a birthday cake over. They made her a red velvet cake that wasn't red because they didn't want to put the dye in because they know Serena's very
Right.
healthy.
Right.
So it was actually a non-red red velvet cake. They
Great.
also made a big chocolate chip pie,
Oh my God, that's so cute.
and they also made a cheesecake with raspberry, puree. They
Wow.
brought three things over.
You're going to have to eat all these things now. You can't be rude.
No, so I'm thinking they're just coming over for a quick cake, right?
Yeah.
And I see them, they're
You
marching
don't know it's
down
going to
the
be three
street.
desserts.
The parents, everybody's like, the hair's combed and they're all put together and everything, they're put together. And I'm looking at
Wow.
this going, let me see if I got the photos. I'm going to send you a photo of this family. I ended up, and then I had to run upstairs and change because I looked like a guy that was just working in the yard because I was a guy that was just working in the yard.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can find this. When you see this photo, you're going to go, oh my God. Or maybe you won't go, oh my God. We'll see. See here. Can't seem to find it. But the bottom line is they come over with all these cakes. Here we go.
Mhm.
See if I can find this. When I send this photo, you're going to freak out.
Okay.
I'm going
to freak out.
to, you're going to copy
Freak
that.
out.
La chic, la freak. Freak out. All right. So Anna. All right. So Anna, tell me if this photo comes through.
Okay. I'm waiting.
There it comes. So these are next door neighbor kids. This is Turner, Colin, Brooke, and Whit. And me and Whit have exactly the same shirt on. So I went upstairs and changed and put on a shirt like Whit's. It came, I sent it through the phone.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
Yeah. So they come over for Serena's birthday and they come marching with all these cakes and pies.
Yeah.
And I'm looking out the door going, oh my God, I got to go change. These kids have gotten cleaned up and dressed up and everything. And here they are. So I ran upstairs and I saw Whit had on a pink shirt. So I went upstairs and put on a pink shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And we came down. And then the other neighbors came over with, he was a bartender. So he came home. He already made margaritas at his house.
Oh my
and
gosh.
He's bringing this over. And then the Italian guy. So, they're all coming over. I didn't realize we were having this kind of party.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all show up and the guy goes, hey, you want a margarita? And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
yeah, you made a big old thing of margaritas there. So, all right. Yeah. So he poured me a margarita and he put it in this glass, like this cup, plastic, and you can't see through it. It's a nice thick cup. Like you would see like at a football game. Like
Solo cup or something.
Yeah, but it's a thicker one, right?
Okay.
It's not like the red cup, like the Lily cup. That
Okay,
crushes.
not a solo cup.
Right, it's thicker. And so I took a sip and but you see, I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, I got myself a sugar conundrum. I gotta weave myself through this whole party, right?
I would say the margarita would be the most damaging thing.
So I took a sip and I'm and the whole thing. And then what I did was I excused myself for a second. I was talking to the Italian dad because this guy's giving everybody else margaritas. I ran down here to my office because I have a bar down here.
Right.
And I dumped out all of the
margarita,
but I held my fingers to keep the ice in the glass.
Great.
Right. So I got it all out. I shook it out really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just poured tequila back in there. And I went up there. Now I had to fake drink. And the reason I had to fake drink, I could have a sip every now and then. I couldn't get drunk because I had a lot of loops to do last night for my movie.
Right.
And I was working on that. This was like 5 in the afternoon. And I was looping at 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah. It's called ADR, looping or ADR. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing both. I'm not only looping, but I'm also doing new stuff that, because the way I wrote the movie, I have to add in stuff as it goes. I have to narrate along.
That's right.
And you got to get the stuff perfect. You can't be half looped. So I couldn't really drink anyway.
You can't be looped for looping.
Yeah. So I was pretending to drink that drink. And then here comes the cake. Right.
Really?
So now I'm looking for the least egregious. So I said, I tell you what, because these kids made these cakes and they want me to try them all.
Yeah.
Right? So I said, I tell you what, I'm going to start with the cheesecake because cheesecake by definition has got more fat. It's got to have less sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put that on my thing. And the other kid goes, you got to try the red velvet cake. So he took a slice and put it on my plate too. So what I did was I took a bite right in front of him and made over it. Oh my God, this is incredible. And then the cheesecake, I took a taste of that. And I told the other kid, I'm going to grab some of that cookie cake in a minute. But I just held this cake in my hand long enough for these kids to move on.
Right.
Right. And then I just went to the trash can and dumped it. Right.
Yeah.
That's how you maneuver through that.
Did you
That's
send
how
them home with all the leftovers too?
Oh yeah, we have nothing left here.
Y'all take this with you.
It was very little that was left over because all these families with these, it was all pretty much gone.
Yeah.
But we said, no, you guys take, go.
Yeah.
And so that's what they did.
I mean, when people make you stuff from scratch.
And these kids were so proud of it. You got to sit there and take a bite and, make over it and do the whole thing. I'm not going to be that guy and go, oh, Uncle Vinny over here doesn't eat that. That's not what we do. We don't eat that around here. No. But these kids are so proud. And by the way, the cake was delicious. And if I'd taken another bite, I would have demolished the whole thing because the cake was delicious. But
right.
I had to do a thing where I slipped out and just threw it away because I want to stay in dietary ketosis.
Right.
I don't want to lose it on an impromptu. I'm not going to lose it over a margarita or a cake.
Right.
And of course, after that, a few hours later, I said, let me see if I knocked myself out. So I went and pricked my finger and did a ketone test. And of course I didn't. So I was fine. But that's what you have to do sometimes. People ask me all the time online, how do you do this? Why do you do it? And on and on and on. And that's how, you fake you. And like sometimes you're sitting at a table and you can't fake yourself through it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the way life works. What I wanted to say to you, Anna, is I just figured out that this show comes out on a friend of ours' birthday, Miss Nancy Wolfson. So every year we wish Nancy Wolfson happy birthday on this show. So
well, then if it's coming out on Nancy Wilson's birthday, it's also your birthday.
Wait, what? We do it every year. The woman who put Anna and me together to do this show, Nancy Wolfson.
You guys have the same birthday.
We share a birthday, and
didn't even realize that it was timing out with your birthday.
Me
happy
either.
early birthday, or happy birthday today.
Thank you. I figured it out right when we were talking about it earlier, and then I had to go and pull up the song because I'm going to be traveling on my birthday this year. I don't celebrate it. We were talking about that earlier. I don't like anything to be made over me. So
maybe we can do a little Twitter birthday.
Okay, we'll do that because I don't have
do a
to pay
little
attention
Twitter
to that.
And yeah, you and Nancy have the same birthday. My mom's birthday is the next day. I've got my sister-in-law the day before yours and my brother-in-law 2 days before. I've got a lot of, what are y'all, Libras?
We're all born. We're all
surrounded by you.
Well, there's a lot of birthdays around this time because
Serena?
Everyone had sex on New Year's Eve, so it lands right now.
Winter fuckings.
Yeah, a lot of winter fucking.
Yeah.
Why has no one ever written that song? Come on, Alice Cooper. What have you been up
Winter fucking.
Anna, sit down.
I think I just wrote it, and that was pretty good. Okay.
Get someone to record it.
Yeah. Do you want to do a couple Twitter questions? I've just given you a warning. In 30 minutes, I have a hard out because I have to host a clubhouse at the top of the hour.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
I'm really important, Vinny.
Yeah, you are.
I'm really in demand.
No, you are. Big time. Shut up. Go on.
You want to do Twitter?
Yeah, let's do a few.
Okay.
Only the good ones. Don't do the stupid ones.
Oh, here's a good one.
You're
here's a
fresh
good one because
Christ.
it compliments me. You ready?
Yeah.
Neil says, after nearly a decade, I'm trying to finally finish Lego Batman 2. And just have to say that at Anna Vocino is great as Vicky Vale.
I said no stupid ones, Anna.
I know.
What is that? What did he just talk about? I don't even know what that
Lego
is.
Batman 2 is a video game I was in 10 years ago. But a new game I'm in just came out called Psychonauts 2. and that one is killer. I think it's on Xbox. I don't have an Xbox.
Do you
I
get
only have a
paid one
PS5.
time, or do you get paid into
You get paid per
perpetuity?
session, and then you get a bonus if the game does a certain level.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
So that's how you make all that
Video
money?
games are for the love of the game. You know what I mean? Like, unless
So
you happen to
do
get
it
a
as a
eat it.
fan more than.
No, I mean, I do it for work, but it's not like commercial work where you're keep earning residuals.
Right.
There's virtually no residuals in video games. And you really, really oftentimes you can shred your voice.
Really?
Not in this one, the Psychonauts 2, I did not do that, but they're awesome. Hold on. When Rex at Rex Piles at Piles_Rex asks, when is the best time of day to eat a carb, or does it matter?
The real answer is a douchey answer, and then I'll answer your question.
Go ahead, be a douche.
The real answer is no time.
There's no time like the no time.
There's no good time to eat a carb. It's not essential to life. You don't need it. You don't need it to raise your blood sugar. You could do that with protein through gluconeogenesis. But if you're going to do it, it's better to do it when you know you're going to be moving around and have a better chance of burning some of that off, right? Meaning if you're exercising or something, we even talk about the sugar trickle. When you are actually exercising, you can burn most of that. You'll burn through it. It won't get turned into a long chain triglyceride and get stored as a fat. That is not to say that you should do that, because if dietary ketosis is what you're looking for and not just NSNG, but you want to go deep, that can still knock you out of dietary ketosis. But if what happens to a carb is it goes in, it will top off your sugars in your blood, in your liver, and in your muscle. And once that's topped off, and we're usually pretty topped off anyway, you need maybe a teaspoon or two in your bloodstream at any given time. So it doesn't take a lot to get you there. Anything above that is going to get turned into a long chain triglyceride and get stored as a fat. Don't give your body the opportunity to do that. So the real answer is there is no good time. But the secondary answer is, if you're doing it at night, it's going to sit on you. You're going to raise your blood sugar. You're going to raise your triglycerides more. It's just worse at night when you're going to sleep on it. So do it before then.
I mean, in a way, so I've been experimenting with the stopping eating at a certain time, because I usually don't eat most of the day, and then I'll eat a lot. And I find myself wanting to snack. Now I'm having one of your nut butters. I'm not not doing NSNG.
Right.
But I find myself wanting to eat throughout the evening. Right. So I'm eating close to bedtime. So I've been experimenting with saying, okay, 6:30, you're done. Once you're done, you're done. And that's it. And then you can eat earlier in the morning, which I'm still having a hard time with because I've trained myself to eat later in the day. However, I will say, it's almost like a compulsion to eat later. So if I see what you're saying, if you're eating the carbs, they're going to sit with you later, right? But I also feel like if you eat really close to bedtime, it's all going to sit with you, right?
That is very true, Anna. I
mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's also like you're not going to help the cause necessarily if you're like shutting your body down right after you eat a big meal. Right? It won't.
Right. Look, I don't like eating late at night. Boy, when I lived in New Orleans, that was one of those late night cities.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wouldn't even go out to eat until 9:30 or 10.
Right.
I would stroll down to Mr. B's in a French Quarter on the weekends and get that 10 o'clock seating. And I wouldn't be out of there until midnight. And love doing stuff like that. The problem is as you get older, I tend to eat early. Now, I don't stop working until 9 or 10. I started looping last night at 9:30 on a Sunday evening. I like working late in the evening. I like eating around 7:30. 6:30 is too early for me. I'm still in the middle of phone calls and meetings and everything else. And So
Me
I
too.
generally
It's
eat
a struggle to try
7:30.
to eat by 6:30.
Right. It really is. But I find if I start eating by 7:30, I'm done by 8:15, and I don't go to bed until midnight. So I still have a good 4 hours
Oh,
of
that's not bad.
letting,
I'm trying to
you know,
get in bed
because
at 10.
I eat meat or fish every night.
Yeah.
Right. And when you let it digest like that, you're not going to bed. I find that you get restless sleep if you go to bed on a full stomach. I learned through this sleep doctor I have on a Friday show sometimes. Um, we talked about this several times. He said, look, if you drink alcohol right before you go to bed, you're going to have more disruptive sleep. He's so correct. So on the
Mm-hmm.
weekends, even when I do have an alcoholic beverage, I'll do it somewhere around 6:30 or 7 in the
Yep.
evening. And then, like a
And you're
pre-dinner
fine.
beverage, and then eat my dinner. And it doesn't disrupt my sleep,
It's true.
right?
No, now that I've gotten that Aura ring, that's the thing that I found most interesting is if you have alcohol close to bed, your resting heart rate jacks up, your heart rate variability goes down, your resting body temperature goes up with alcohol, and it will disrupt your sleep for sure. But if you have it earlier enough in the day, what's funny is that yesterday Lauren and I went to a new place up here called Bar La Cote up in Los Olivos, and it's mostly, oyster bar. And we had the fish crudo, the oysters. He had oysters, and I had an heirloom tomato salad, and we shared a sea bass, and he had a pot de creme for dessert. And while we were doing this, we were eating so early. We stopped in at 4:00, right when they opened, because it was a really popular place. We're like, let's just go in. And so I told him, I was like, great, but now I can stop eating earlier, because usually we don't eat dinner till 7:30, 7:30. Right. Trying to push it back earlier. And it was funny because during the meal, as he's eating, he's going, well, we're going to be hungry later. We're going to be hungry later. We're going to need something. I was like, I'm not going to make a second dinner after we just spent money on a dinner.
Right.
But I could tell his panic was, well, we usually eat at 7. So
that's an Italian Jewish thing. I don't know.
I know. And I was just like,
cousin grandparents.
And all night he was like, I'm full. I can't believe I'm full. I'm not even hungry. I don't even want a snack. And I was like, oh, see? There you go.
And as I tell everyone, you're not living in a third world country. You can go have something later if you have to.
And that's what I said. We have prosciutto, we have salami, we have cheese. You can go get snack. We have nuts, we have olives, we have nut butters, we have everything. Don't worry about it.
Serena likes getting a little scoop of yogurt at night. By the way, the guy I was talking about, I couldn't remember his name right off. I wanted to make sure I said it correctly. It's Dr. Robert S. Rosenberg. He comes on a Friday show a
he's
lot.
Great.
Answers for Sleep. You can find him on Twitter at Answers for Sleep.
Yeah.
The guy really knows his stuff. I'm a big fan. So go check it. And by the way, he's not paying for an ad here. And I'm just telling you, this guy knows his stuff. Go check him out. I have to look him up on Twitter. I was going to say Robert S. Rosenblum, and I knew it wasn't Rosenblum.
No, Rosenberg. Yeah, he's great. I know who you're talking about. Can I say something before we get to the next question?
Sure.
It is September 27th, Vinny's birthday.
That's right.
You just launched the fish oil capsules. We haven't brought that up at all. Y'all need to get your EPA, DHA, krill oil, fish oil capsules.
That's right.
And you also need to order your pumpkin marinara.
Oh, yeah.
By the time this comes out, I will have done 2 videos using pumpkin marinara in recipes. This most recent one will be, I'm going to do a pork rind pizza crust, pumpkin marinara sauce, and I'm going to saute mushrooms, shallots, thyme, and sage, and put that on a little pizza, like a little flatbread. It's going to be awesome.
Delicious.
Please get the pumpkin marinara. If you don't pre-order, it's going to all ship around October 11th. If you don't pre-order, you will miss it. I'm only making as much as people pre-order. So just putting it out there. Vinny, Sorrow, our friend Sorrow Markari.
Sorrow. I had dinner with he and his wife. They when we did the movie, if you paid a certain fee to be
for the first
movie, you
That's
get the
awesome.
dinner. And Sorrow and his wife, they gave to that, and I felt like I met friends that night. Great night.
On behalf of the other 6 days of the week, why Monday? I don't even know what he means by that, but I just wanted to ask you.
I don't even know what that means.
Why? I don't know. Okay. I just had to give a shout out to Sorrow. Sugar-free cyclist.
I know him too. He's on Twitter all the time. Yeah.
A friend is giving NSNG a try, but whenever they've tried other low carb, high fat, they get muscle cramps. They are using PVC magnesium, Pure Vitamin Club magnesium. What else should they try to mitigate?
Two things. If you're using the magnesium, that will help, but that won't solve it all. What happens to your friend is when they first do it, your body loses a lot of inflammation and you will start losing a lot of water. So you have to drink more water. You should eat more salt in everything you do. Just dump salt on it first. Make it overly salty. That salt
People
will
think
help
we're
that
crazy
water.
for doing that.
Yeah, that salt will help you keep the water in your body. It won't bloat you. It won't make you fat. Just trust me on this. You can do magnesium twice a day, at least mine, because I know it's in it. You could do more salt. Pickle juice will help alleviate that. The brine from pickle juice. You can also eat the pickles, no problem.
I literally pour salt in my hand and lick it.
Oh, I eat salt all day long. All day long, no problem. I don't have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is very normal, actually on the low side. I have zero heart disease. I have nothing. I'm on no medication. I'm 59 years old when this comes out. I'm on no medication, and I'm not planning on taking a medication between now and Monday when this comes out. Not planning on it whatsoever.
So you are telling the truth, is what you're saying.
I am telling the truth as of today.
Words of affirmation and words of truth. That's your love language.
Yes. The look of spend down.
Bob G.
This will be the last question, Anna. Are you sure you want to come from someone named Bob?
I've got two more. You're going to answer.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll do two more.
Actually, let's do Tori's question first. T squared 146 asks, he's got a picture of a lot of muscles. Thoughts on Lipitor / use of a statin for high cholesterol in someone diagnosed with familial hypercholesterolemia?
I can't answer that. It's a medical question.
That's what I thought you'd say. So that's why I just want to get to that for Tori. Bob G. May have asked Bob Gralewski.
Bob G.
We know Bob Gralewski. Hi, Bob.
Do we?
Oh, hi, Bob. May have been asked before. I'm sure it has, Bob.
It has been. When you start with that, Bob.
But I appreciate him acknowledging it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of acting like he's the first person to ever ask it.
Yeah.
This is why Bob is one of the good guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. May have been asked before, are the number of reps, the amount of weight lifted, or a combination of both the key to adding muscle? Thanks in advance. Another reason why Bob is a great guy, he thanked us in advance. Sorrow, no thank you from Sorrow.
Yeah, nothing.
No thank you from Sugar Free Cyclist.
Zero. Yeah.
Rex, forget about it. No thank you from him.
Yeah. Read the question again. I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
Yeah. May have been asked before, are the number of reps, the amount of weight lifted, or a combination of both the key to adding muscle?
The definition of work is mass times distance times time. So it's both. I don't, I was talking about this earlier in the show, I'm putting on muscle mass right now and I'm not even using heavy weights, right? Probably the heaviest weight I use is when I do pull-ups, I'm pulling up the weight of my body, right? And even with those, I was, speaking of the kids next door, I'm bringing this all back around. I gave that kid a pull-up bar a while back to put in his door.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, man, Mr. Vinnie, I do pull-ups every day. Saying, no. Every other day. And on your day off, I need you to do push-ups. We happened to be out by the pool when he was telling me this. And I said, get on the ground and show me some push-ups. And he did. I went, okay, those suck.
You said that to me too.
I said,
but mine still suck. I have gotten better.
I told him, I said, look, you're doing them fast because you're trying to get a certain number out. I said, I would rather see you and get those muscles enacted, man. Just let it down slowly. Get your chest to the ground. And I said, I don't care if you do one correctly, doing them really slowly because you're keeping the muscles enacted, right? So that's the way you want to do them. It's not about how many you can do. It's how you can get the muscles enacted and how long you could keep them enacted, right? So, you could do a bench press. I've seen people, we used to call them joke lifters back when I worked out with Joe when I was a kid. Joke lifters would put on, 225 and they, put about 8, 10, 12 reps and racket and yell and scream and say, okay, what did you do? You just moved 225 pounds up and down really fast 10 times. So 10 times 225 is what, Anna? That's
10 times 225 is 2250.
yeah, 22. You just effectively moved
2,250.
a couple of thousand pounds, right? But it only took you 10 seconds to do that, maybe 15 seconds to do that. I would rather see you take half of that weight, maybe let's call it 115 pounds, and take 45 seconds to do it 10, 12 times. Now you have less weight and you're going, okay, well, that's way less weight. It's half the weight. And but you've kept it and acted much longer. That's going to do you more good. If you go watch the old school bodybuilders, Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbo, Lou Ferrigno, these guys, that's how they were working out. I used to watch them down at Gold's Gym in the early 90s. They were all still working out. And that's how they did it.
Can I make an observation?
Sure.
You are the Joe Bonadonna of your new neighborhood. For those kids. Isn't that cool?
I really am.
You are.
I really am the new Joe Bonadonna because and I think about that sometimes, when I give them weightlifting bar, pull-up bars and the whole thing. Andy has now called me 3 times in a row.
We should end the podcast. We're done anyway.
He probably needs me really bad.
Something bad is happening. You need to answer that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
super fans. Villa
Cappelli. Wait, do Villa Cappelli. I'm going to turn my mic off. Do Villa Cappelli.
Okay. Villa Cappelli is the best olive oil on the planet. We had Stephen Crutchfield on the last Monday show. If you missed it, go back and listen because we go into some depth about different BS things that the food labelers want you to do. And knowing your food supplier is very important. We know Stephen very well. He's a friend of ours. I use Stephen's oil in my marinara. Vinny uses it in his vitamin D. And plus, it's just the best tasting oil on the planet. Trust me. Once you buy it, you'll be like, oh, my flavor palette just came alive. And I used to use it very chintzy back in the day, only for salad dressings. But then I started to cook with it. And I highly recommend cooking with it. This stuff will sell out. He's only sent a certain amount stateside. And now I know they're in the middle of harvest now again. So make sure you get your hands on the Villa Cappelli, get the 3-liter tin, and also get some extra things. Use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, to get 10% off your order, but order enough things so that you get the free shipping for $100. So this is very important. Make sure you get the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, for 10% off your order, but get the lemon oil, get the garlic oil, get the salts, get the what's it called? The grilling salts is a new product that he has. It is incredible. VillaCappelli.com, or you can click the banner ad at VinnieTortorich.com and get yourself some oil. Vinnie, are you back?
I'm back. I'm going to have to get on the phone with Andy in just a minute here. So anyway, folks, check out Eat Happy Kitchen.
Yes. Go to Eat Happy Kitchen. Get that pumpkin marinara pre-ordered.
Yeah. You also want to get Eat Happy, the cookbook. I was talking to someone this morning. Let me see if I can see her name.
I still need to get your address because I need to send you stuff for your neighbors, books for your neighbors.
I was talking to Giselle. I won't say her last name, but she's a big fan. And she goes, I cook out of Anna's cookbook and Eat Happy. And she did say, she goes, when I cook for my boyfriend, I'll say, hey, I'm going to cook something out of Eat Happy. He goes, no, I don't want that health food. But she does it anyway. Right. And then she tells him afterwards and he goes, oh, wait, this was delicious.
Yeah.
It's funny how people will have that reaction, right?
Well, because people are used to diet food. I mean, isn't this something that you and I have been struggling with this whole time, to be like, NSNG, yes, there's a shift in your mindset that might feel like a little bit diet mentality, but once you get adjusted to it, it's a whole way of eating that's actually quite yummy, and it's not diet food. Trust me.
Yeah, you want to go check out everything Anna's doing. Get the cookbooks. Go to Eat Happy Kitchen. Go talk to your grocer in your area and say, hey, why don't you have this marinara? Why don't you have this pink sauce? Well, come on, where's the puttanesca?
And don't forget, Andy and I are going to be in Vegas October 15th and 16th. His booth, I just saw the floor map. His booth is right there to the right, front and center. So make sure that you meet us there. We're going to be hanging out, and come to Las Vegas Keto. And if you don't know what that is, just go to my site and come meet us there, West Coasters. We need to see you there.
By the way, Anna is such a big deal. She doesn't, do you know this yet? Did we invite you to come to some other trade show with us?
Yes.
Yeah. That's in the spring.
That's in the spring. We'll talk
So
about that.
Anna will be signing books, right, Anna?
Very exciting. Yes.
Yeah, or something. She's going to sign whatever she will
I'll sign whatever.
Whatever you want, she will sign it.
Yeah.
But if she's doing cock signings, bring your own Sharpie.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think I'm going to social distance if somebody asks for a cock signing. I'm gonna be like, nope.
She used to do it, but now she's all hoity-toity and everything.
That's right.
So, Anna is coming out. I can't make the one in Vegas. Anna will be there. You're also talking, right, Anna, or doing a demonstration, or?
I am talking at Keto Las Vegas,
Yeah,
lvketo.com.
You guys want to go do that. And I can't make that one because of other commitments. But right after that, Anna and I will be somewhere together in the spring. Just like the good old days, we're pulling the team back together. And then there's something else we're doing later in the spring. We got all kinds of stuff coming your way.
A lot coming up. Stuff's opening back up.
Yeah, we're all excited. So we'll be talking about that as all that stuff comes up. Before you go to Amazon, please go to VinnieTortorich.com. It puts coal on the fire, gets our train down the track. And we're able to keep this show free because of you guys. I look every morning and I get to actually see the names on this. Everyone who does Superfan. First thing I do in the morning is check the Superfan. I see your names. I see what you guys give, and I appreciate every dime of it. That money does not end up in my pocket. It helps me put on the show and to make sure everyone is compensated so that we could keep it running. It's kind of like PBS around here.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for doing it. It really makes a difference. That money does not go to me. It goes to everyone else. I will end the YouTube version of